Good evening everyone and welcome back to Lockdown Live Sessions episode 6 with me, your host for this evening, Mr. Callum Lucas. Now, before the break, we were looking at how cyberbullying is connected with domestic violence. We looked at what cyberbullying was, and we also looked at how friends, family and the community can support victims of cyberbullying and reduce the issue. Before the break, I did say I was going to give a few support helplines and tips, and then I said that I was going to put them up on the Lockdown Live Sessions page after the show, which I will do in just a minute. But coming up later in the show, we've got my top 5 film and TV of the week as always. Remember guys, it's for the week coming up, and then there'll be a fresh one that will cover the next couple of months, and it'll be a top 10. Which will be next week in next Sunday's final show. We've got that coming up. I will tell you a little bit more about the Teenage Cancer Run, which I haven't told you about yet, so I'll tell you a little bit more about that. And I will also be giving you a few little pieces of information about what's coming up in next week's final. So let's crack on with the rest of the show. As I said before the break, I said that I was going to give you guys some support networks. So if you are being cyberbullied, whether you're a child or an adult, you can go to staysafeonline.org.uk, bullying.co.uk and nationalbullyinghelpline.co.uk. And what they do is they're charities that deal with all sorts of bullying, but there are specific sections to deal with cyberbullying where you can get help, support and advice if you or someone you know are going through that issue. If it is a child that's going through that issue, two big websites are www.childline.org.uk. I believe the number for Childline is 0800 111111. I will check that and I'll pop that on a little information sheet later on this evening. And you can also go to www.nspcc.org.uk. Now both of those are great charities that deal with children that are neglected or bullied, and cyberbullying is something that they focus on. If you also wanted to look up an acronym called CEOP, that is all about how to stay safe online, particularly for children, but it does give some information about how to stay safe online in general when it comes to protecting yourself, preventing yourself from being cyberbullied. So, now we've reached the point where it is my top 5 of the evening. So this, as I've said, is for the week coming up, and we've got 5 brand new TV shows and films, mainly from Netflix this week, but we've got a couple of shows from both the BBC and the ITV. So, in at number 5, we've got Inside the World's Toughest Prisons. Now, in this programme, Raphael Rowe goes to several different countries to visit several different prisons to find out why they are called the world's toughest prisons, what's different between the UK prisons and the prisons in these countries. Now, countries include Lesotho, Norway, the Ukraine and Poland, and believe me, there are some really rough prisons out there. Now, this features Raphael Rowe talking to the guards, talking to the inmates, and just trying to find out really what life is like in those prisons. What he does is he spends a week locked up in those prisons himself so he can get that first-hand experience. Now, if you like documentaries like that, do check it out. It's on Netflix, it's available now. There are 4 seasons of it on there, and it is absolutely cracking. Now, number 4 this evening is also on Netflix, and it's a documentary. It is about a 2-time Mr. Universe and famous bodybuilder, Callum Von Mogler. And he has had a debilitating injury which has potentially resulted in the end of his career. So in this documentary, Callum Von Mogler reflects on his rise to fame, what things were like at the height of his fame, the debilitating injury, and whether that is going to spell indeed an end to his career. So if you like some of that, again, get yourself over to Netflix, it's on there now, and as I've said, it is called Callum Von Mogler. If you just type that in, and you will find that documentary. So, number 3 is the assassination of Gianni Versace. Now, this is a series looking at the assassination of Gianni Versace, who was a famous fashion designer, by a man called Anglican Cannon, who Versace actually met 7 years beforehand, in 1990, in a cafe in San Francisco. So this looks at what happened, why it happened, and who this Andrew Quintana was, and why he wanted to assassinate Gianni Versace. So if you like that, again, get yourself onto Netflix. It is on there, it's available now. It is a series, and I believe it's limited edition, which means it won't be about long. In number 2, it is Little Boy Blue. So if you missed it the first time, this is a cracking ITV drama series that looks at a police officer called D.S. Kelly, who is trying to bring the teenage killer of a schoolboy in his town to justice. So this is a fictional drama, a fictional crime drama about D.S. Kelly and how he's trying to bring the teenage murderer of this schoolboy to justice and what lengths he goes to do so. It is a 3-part drama, it's a wicked drama. Get yourself over to the ITV Hub and you can find it on there. And finally, in at number 1 is a BBC iPlayer drama called Anthony. So it's the story of a black teenager who was murdered in Merseyside in 2005 as a result of a racist attack. And the documentary Anthony is a docudrama. It looks at what Anthony's life could have been had he not have been killed. It's a wicked watch. If you like the sound of that, if you like things like that, do get yourself over to BBC iPlayer and you can see that. So, we are running a little bit of a shorter show tonight. I just thought I'd chuck in, because you've had a double bill this weekend, and I know that an hour is a long time, I thought I'd chuck in a little shorter show to give you guys a little bit of a break, even though you had one last week, and it will be, so we'll probably run to about 9:45, maybe 10 to 10, and then next week we're going to give you a bumper hour and 20-minute show. So that is my top 5 of the week. So as I said, if you like any of those, if you like some of any of those, get yourself over to the respective platforms. If you're not sure and you try to find something, ping me a message and I will get, I'll get onto that and I'll send you links and things like that. So that's done. I'm going to spend the next sort of 5 minutes talking a little bit to you about next week's last show. I mean, the last show already, it feels like yesterday since I'm standing here for the very first time from my home presenting to you the very first episode of Lockdown Live Sessions, where it is with the lovely Oliver Sutton about his journey being gay and religious, and that was back on the 28th of June. So hasn't this really gone quickly? As I said at the top of the show, I really want to thank everyone that stuck by me, everyone that's watched, everyone that's tuned in, left me comments, messages, feedback and support. You guys are my viewers, you keep my show going. So for as long as I have you, I've got a show. And if I didn't have you guys as my viewers, there would be no show. So I give you guys a massive thank you, and I owe you guys a lot for tuning in week on week and giving me the audience and the platform to do this show, especially for 6 weeks coming into the final 7th week. I'm hoping to see as many of you as I can at the final, which will be on this page. It will be on the Lockdown Live Sessions page next Sunday, the 9th of August at 9 PM. On the subject of that final, we have got a lot lined up for you. I'm going to give you that in a little promo on Wednesday though. I'm just finalising a few things, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys a promo video on Wednesday about exactly what's coming up. We're going to have guests, we're going to have fun, we're going to have laughter, we're going to have a bit of a lightheartedness, and we're going to reflect back on what a brilliant series Lockdown Live Sessions Series 1 has been. And you'll have my top 5 of the week as you normally do. You will also have a bit of information about Series 2, which I can tell you, I can exclusively reveal to you tonight that Season 2 is going to be taking place live every week on a date to be confirmed in November over on the Chinwag YouTube page. It's actually going to be Chinwag Series 1. as some of you may or may not have known, Lockdown Live Sessions is a bit of a sister show. The original show is called Chinwag, and the original plan was to have it in various different locations around the UK, in halls, in various different places, in a studio format, and actually have a studio show to broadcast to YouTube every week for you. But unfortunately, because of the coronavirus, that didn't happen. So I came up with this little brainchild called Lockdown Live Sessions, which basically does exactly what I wanted Chinwag to do, but in my own home, in a place where I can still deliver the show whilst being safe in isolation during the pandemic and during this lockdown. So, next series, we are going to be covering a lot more topics. We may revisit some topics that we covered in series 1 of this show to go over them in a little bit more detail, and in shows that are a little bit longer and in a little bit of a sort of different format, so to speak. We will be covering a variety of new topics, and more information on that will be in the little live video that I'll be doing on this page on Wednesday the 18th of August at 8 PM, and that will tell you, and I'll be telling you guys everything about the different topics that we've got, the guests that we've got, and all of that sort of thing. So do keep your eyes peeled for that, because that's going to be a cracking show. It's going to be a half-hour special on the 18th of August at 8 PM, and I'll be revealing some of the things that we've got lined up. If you guys as well, obviously, if you've got any comments, any feedback, any topics that you want me to discuss in the next series, do drop me a message on the Lockdown Live Sessions Facebook page, or you can email us at chinwagseries@gmail.com, or you can drop me a message personally, whichever suits you. Also, Oliver Sutton is an admin of this page, so if you can't get hold of me, please do still drop the admin page a message. It will be myself or Oliver that will pick it up, and again it will be myself or Oliver that will pick up the email, so one of us will reply as quick as we can. But yeah, we want your contributions, we want your feedback, and we want you to form a massive part of this next series, because it's going to be big. So that's a bit about kind of series 2. But yeah, we have very nearly come to the end of the show tonight. As I've said, we only had one real topic to discuss. It was a bit of a shorter one tonight. But what I want to say, I know I said it loads today, is thank you so much for joining me and tuning in, those of you that had. I want to tell you a little bit about the challenge that I'm doing, as you know, which is the 100-mile run for the Teenage Cancer Trust. So last night I went out, it's the first time I've run in 6 weeks, and I managed 1.15 miles. Now, although the average for the day is 3.22, I'm going to do that through running and through walking to work, because my walk to work is actually about 2 miles. So I'm going to do a very brisk walk and count that towards my challenge, because I've been told I'm allowed to do that. Tomorrow's day 3, and I've done 1.15 miles so far. I've got 98.75 miles to go now. To do by the 31st of August. I want to give a massive shout out to Matt Reeves, who is my inspiration, one of my inspirations, along with Mr. Stephen Sutton, who was a 19-year-old boy who died in 2014, having raised over £5 million for Teenage Cancer Trust. Proud to call him a friend. I'm really proud to call Matt a friend. I'm not going to talk about kind of Matt's reasons for it, but Matt's got his own reasons for taking part in the run, and he has been incredible, he's been inspirational, and he's been a massive, massive bundle of energy and joy to have in the TCT 100 miles in August group that I'm involved with as well. So Matt, we're really proud of you, and you're doing really well, and keep up the good work, buddy. So that's a little bit about that. I am looking to go for a run tonight or tomorrow, and I'm also going to be making up the miles through walking as well that I've missed, through over the course of the weekend. So that is a bit about the Teenage Cancer Trust run. As I said, next week is the final night of Lockdown Live Sessions of this series up until November. The dates for Series 2 will be confirmed in the promo video on Wednesday, 18th of August, which I believe is a Wednesday. Wednesday. I think it's the 18th of August. I've double checked because I'm not very good with dates. But yeah, off the top of my head, it is the 18th of August. No, it's not, it's the 19th of August, so I've just got it out of my head. Wednesday the 19th of August at 8 PM. I will confirm that all up on the Lockdown Live Sessions page. I'll confirm the date of that live broadcast, which will be on here for about half an hour on that date. But until then, guys, we are now at 20 to 10. So thank you so much for joining me today. I know it's been a bit of a shorter show this evening. I will be back next week with a whole load of different things for you. We're going to have a couple of interviews, hopefully a couple of guests, and we are going to reflect on this series and the bits we enjoyed and how much fun we've had. So, until next Sunday, thank you so much for joining, thank you so much for tuning in. I've been Callum Lucas, you've been a great audience. See you again, same time, same place, same day, next week. Lots of love to you all, stay safe and good night.